what I said or did. So I don't know. It's like blacking out kind of. Okay. All right. Are you guys ready to do this? Okay. I got to give another shout out to, oh, you probably didn't hear that then when I did my little, oh, you did. You heard it through the speakers. I don't have my headphones in today, so I have to be very careful about audio today. So my ears have been bothering me, and I think I need new headphones. I'm not really sure. So anyway, I've actually not been wearing them as much, and so I'm not wearing them. So I got to be careful with music because that echo is that music comes out of the speakers and into my microphone. It can create an echo. So that happens sometimes. Okay, we have a new person in the house today. So I got to give a welcome to Monique, right? I got to give a welcome to Monique. I know, Monique, you had questions inside Crystal's group about cameras and webcams and things like that. Do me a favor and let me know specifically what kind you're already using. Put a Q in front and let's get you taken care of for sure. So I know. So if you are new here, which some of you are, I've had a lot of new subscribers this month. We hit 1,000 subscribers last week on YouTube. We had a big celebration. That was a lot of fun. Thank you for all of those that joined me on Friday for that celebration time that we had on Friday. That was super fun. Such a fun day to have that happening. So absolutely loved having y'all here with me on that one. So, but if you are new here, what we do on this weekly show on these Tuesdays is I will sometimes come with a topic, or I will sometimes come to teach you and show you something. I am going to be teaching you and showing you something today. But at the same time, I'm also going to answer whatever questions you have. So if you want to post your questions, get them all posted in there, put a Q in front of it, and we will rock and roll. Something kind of funny today. So not funny, something I'm excited about. I ordered a Blackmagic ATEM Mini about 2 hours ago. It'll be here on Thursday. So I'm pretty excited to get that one out and get going with it. Because speaking of cameras, this is my Sony a6100 camera that is going into the Camlink capture card. The Sony ZV-E10, which is over here, doesn't look as good. And that is because I am simply just the Sony ZV-1 and the Sony ZV-10 cameras, you can actually use the USB cable, plug it into your computer, and your computer will automatically recognize it as a USB webcam. Now you have to have a setting on the camera that will basically tell the computer, hey, I'm a webcam. But it is going to be a lower resolution. It's actually significantly lower. And so this camera costs way too much money for it to look like this. It should look a lot better. So I need a capture card in order to have that full resolution. But what I didn't want to do is just plug in another capture card when the Blackmagic ATEM Mini is essentially a capture card. So is the Camlink Pro. So I've been kind of thinking about what is the setup that I want to do here, and I finally decided to just go with the ATEM. So we'll see how that happens. I may not even need OBS anymore. Who knows? We'll see. My setup might be changing. But you guys, I want to tell you something really funny, and then I'm going to jump into some questions, and I'll show you guys how I made those GIFs as well. I passed gas once. I did not pass gas. I know that. I didn't pass gas. That would be so embarrassing if I did, though, wouldn't it? Hey, Johnny. Johnny Bean is here as well. Got to say hi to him. Super funny, or super fun that you're here today. You missed the beginning where I apparently was humming and singing and all kinds of things during the countdown. Everyone could hear me, so kind of funny. Well, what's up, Michael Heck? Hey, said hi, everybody. Make sure y'all say hi to Michael. Michael, I believe you are also a new subscriber, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so here's what's pretty fun. And lip sync over their built-in USB. Yeah. Yep. There you go. Always check your settings before you go live. So here's the funny story. So last Friday, when you guys were all with me, and remember we partied and we had a fun time. I was drinking champagne. We were celebrating the 1,000 subscribers. Yes. Thank you, Crystal. Here's the funny thing that happened. When I was done with the stream, so I end my streams, I like to end with a thank you for watching video. There's a couple reasons for that. It makes the process of ending your stream a little bit less awkward. And it's kind of just a nice place for everyone to kind of wind down, say thank you, goodbye. Whereas in StreamYard, if you just hit end broadcast, there's this 3-second thing and you're kind of is it ending? Is it ending? Is it ending? And so you have to kind of say, thank you, everybody. See you later. And you're just kind of sitting here and waiting for it to end the stream and you don't know if it's ended yet. So you're bye. So anyway, there's that. Also, it's just kind of like a nice production value. But the biggest benefit to it is actually, especially if you're on YouTube, is that you can go place those end cards, the end screen, like calls to action at the end of your stream, and then you literally can create more watches. So that's why I like to end with a stream. So my end screen looks like this. Y'all have seen it, but the new one I have is this one right here. So there you go, right? That's the end screen. Now, when I had that on, I ended my stream and I was like, oh, and then I said in broadcast, and I was standing and I was like, that was so fun. And I went ahead and I was like, Doug's upstairs, Addie's upstairs, they're waiting on me so we can go to dinner. And I hit the button on my desk to let it go back down, right? Because it's automated. You can program the heights. So I did that and okay, so I hit it down here. I had my champagne here, the bottle is here. And you know what happened? Do you see this? That's my chair. And usually what I do with this chair is I scooch it underneath my desk. Do you know where this story's going? Oh, so I hit the button, forgot to pull the chair out from under it. And so as the desk is going down, it gets to the chair, and you guys, I hit down, it was like done. And then all of a sudden the desk starts to like turn. It starts tilting like this. And I'm like, what is happening? The champagne falls over. I'm like, oh my God, I literally have like $2,000 more of cameras in front of me. Like, and I'm like hanging on to them. This one does tip it but luckily it hit the back of my monitor arm. I literally was, and I realized what happened and I was like, and I was able to hit this button, but it literally was like 5 seconds and everything just started like sliding. Like I said, the desk basically went like this. Or no, did it do that? Yeah, it went like this because the chair was like right here. And so the desk started bending, and thank God I didn't break anything, shred the desk. But literally everything starts moving. My champagne glass fell over. The bottle slides into the monitor. Like I said, the camera moved. I had a hold of this one right here. I'm literally like going like this. I'm like, no. What's happening? And everything was okay. Nothing broke. I did have champagne. I had to clean the champagne off the stream deck. It's okay. But I literally was like, I really wish that there was like a security camera or something capturing that moment, because you guys, it was terrifying, but so funny. Like, it was just like, I was done with my stream. I was like, okay, clicking on everybody saying thank you. I'm like, sweet. And then I'm just like, okay, I'm going to go upstairs. And I'm like, hit the button. I start to walk away. And everything just is like, I'm like, what's happening? Oh my gosh, you guys, it was crazy. Yeah, the champagne kicked in. I don't know what happened, but I forgot to move the chair. So, I mean, it was nightmare is absolutely, totally true. Annette says, that's a nightmare. Yes, it was. Because if these cameras fall, which is actually a thing, I'm looking for some different mounts for my cameras, because they're just on tripods. They're just back here behind the monitors, and they're on tripods. And so I really need to get a better setup, because literally those could tip over anytime. I always tell Addie, I'm like, you and your friends are not allowed anywhere near any of this, because they play over here all the time and stuff, which, by the way, that's going to get moved, and that's where my Peloton's going to go when that thing shows up. So yeah, it was pretty terrifying. It was really, really bad. I actually was like, man, I wish this desk had a setting where it would stop, but it was like, I don't know what it was going to do. It was going to like crush everything. That's a good champagne. It was good champagne. And I literally was like, no. Luckily there wasn't a lot in the glass, but it was so crazy. Oh my gosh. Yes. Gary says memories. Literally, I am never going to forget it. And I just really wish that somebody was here to see it, and nobody saw it. They didn't even hear it upstairs. So anyway, okay. All right. James, he says, you know how much I worry about you now have office hazards to deal with. It's a mess, man. It's a mess. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Ugh. I'm just glad that it didn't actually nothing broke. I'm so lucky. Nothing broke. So, but I had to tell you guys that story because a lot of you were here and I just thought, I was just like, oh my God, I really wish somehow that was on camera, but it wasn't, unfortunately. Yeah, my Stream Deck got to party too, CK. Got a little champagne in it. Thank God it's not messed up. Whew, I would have been terrified. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Oh, you know what? I almost keep forgetting about the new feature in StreamYard, the starred comments. So I should have starred Anna's question up above because she asked a question. I'm also going to star Monique and I'm going to star... Where did Anna's question go? I know I saw a cue come from Anna, so I'm looking for it. There it is. Okay, so we are going to do Q&A. So if you have questions for me, throw them in there. I am going to talk about how I made the GIFs for today. And I also probably, while we're live, I will put them in a Google folder and I'll put that link in the comments for you guys to go grab those. So we made a Taco Tuesday. Hey! And we also made the fire one, which the fire one is a little kind of lower quality, but it's because the actual GIF file that I used to create this was kind of large. The thing about these files, if they have to be 3 megabytes or less, really they have to be less than 3 megabytes. So you can't, that's actually the trick when you're making these is that you have to, one, they need to be transparent, and two, they need to be low enough file resolution, or not, sorry, low enough file size that you can actually upload them. So sometimes the files can be huge and really difficult to deal with. So you have to kind of play around with changing some things like the FPS on them. So let me show you guys how I did these. Okay, so I used an application that whoops. Yeah. Let me open this. I've got it in the wrong browser here. Hold on a sec. I'm going to open this up. Okay. So I use an application called Wave Video that I've talked about on the show before. It's really not overly intuitive as far as the user interface. I wish it was better. But I certainly, can do enough with it to be dangerous, I suppose. Yeah, Mike says, I frequently ask the streamer guys to let us have larger GIF files. It's all about server space. I think, that's a huge part of it, but I think that it would be awesome as well. I think they've actually had that request come through multiple times. Okay, so that would actually make the animated backgrounds a lot easier to do. Okay, so here's what we have. So let me share my screen. So Wave Video. So I just have a design open and the background is transparent. That's what this pattern, oh, really? Show my screen. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. So this background here is the pattern because that's that transparency, right? So it's the transparency piece. And what you can do is you go over here to overlays and stickers. And when you select that, then you're gonna go out here to the right and you're gonna have like stickers. Now the stickers, some of these are animated and some of them aren't, but like, for example, I think these are animated. That one's not. Okay, I really thought that one was. Anyway, I'm still not sure that it's not. All right, so here's what overlays and stickers. I went to Jiffy, the Jiffy tab right here, and all I did was I just typed fire. And there's the bunch of fire options, right? And when you hover over it, it's gonna kind of give you the preview. And the one I happened to choose, I think was kind of a large file size, right? I think this one's kind of funny. This is what I think many of us need this one, don't we? It's like, oh, tech gremlins, right? So anyway, this is how you can design them. Now, let me take you back here. So the other thing is that you have what's called your video timeline at the bottom, and it has layers. And so there's kind of your main layer here, and then there's the layer with your animations in it. And you can time this layer. So I can make it so that it doesn't come on right away. I can do some timing there. I'm not going to get super into this. Y'all just need to really like tinker like crazy with it because I don't really feel like I have played around with it enough to do a full tutorial, but I've played around with it enough to know how to go do this. So you add the sticker and you can move them around to wherever you want. And then when you go to publish, you're going to select GIF. Okay. So you're going to select the GIF. And then here is kind of where it gets important. The duration is going to default to 5 seconds. Your start time is going to default to 0. It's also going to have some default sizes and FPS. So when you go to create your file, it's going to take forever, by the way. It takes quite a while. It will give you a preview down here. And when it gives you a preview, it also tells you the file size, which I really like, because then you don't have to deal with taking the time to download it, then checking the file size and realizing, oh, it's still too big. So as long as you have it under 3 megabytes, now it's not going to tell you like 2.8 megabytes or 3.1. So you really just want to make sure that it's not 3, because it's probably going to still be too big if it is 3. And as you can see, it's taking forever. It's going to show us the preview, and then literally that will change to a button that'll say download. And then you download it, and it's the GIF file. And that's essentially how I did it. So, yes, great question. So, Cynthia from Purgatory Paranormal of New York says, did you say there was somewhere on the StreamYard Facebook group to get the confetti GIF? Whoa, there's a ladybug flying around my ceiling. Yes, there is. I will get that link really quick and post it in the comments. If you go to the stream, oh, here we go. Okay. So there you go. You see our preview, and the file size is 2 megabytes. The trick here is you can do a couple different things here to get, if you have a file that's large, you can actually change your, the actual file size to a smaller resolution, and this will automatically change. So it's 720. That's actually going to be fine. It's not going to affect you too much, but the biggest thing that's going to make your biggest difference here, if your file size is huge, is your FPS. But you don't want to go super low on the FPS if you don't have to, because it's going to make your GIF choppy. So that's kind of one of the things that the graphics won't be as good. I will say that when you're adding the stickers, they seem to work really well. When you're adding, again, things that have like a more of a video aspect to it, like our fire one, it was a much larger file embedded into this design. So I had to make the FPS really low, like super low. And so it's a bit of a choppier graphic. So you'll see what I mean here when I pull this up. So I'll pull these up so you can see what I mean. So see, it's kind of choppy, kind of pixelated. It's just When you look at the original, it's like, whoa, that doesn't look as good as the original file. That's because I had to like really reduce the FPS and all that stuff. And then the Taco Tuesday looks pretty darn good, I think, personally. So that's essentially what I did and how I made them. While we're live today, I'll grab these 2 files, I'll put them in a folder for you, and I'll share that GIF or the folder for you guys so that you can have it. The ladybug is good luck. I hope so. James says it's a squirrel, which it kind of is. Okay. All right, let me see here. Okay. Where was I going with that? What was the next thing I was going to do? Oh, I was going to show Cynthia and you all where this file is. So let me pull this up, because the confetti file that I played earlier as well, this one, this is actually a free graphic that, along with others, that StreamYard has provided. In fact, this cute one right here, I love the little duck that flies around and goes off screen. That's also a free graphic that they provided. I just think it's fun and cute. I got to let him fly away though. Go. Okay. So let me show you guys where these are, because they have holiday graphics. They have backgrounds. There's even some timers. So I know Artist Haven, there's a timer graphic in there too, and it's a transparent timer file. So you might want to check that one out as well, because you may find that useful too. I know you were talking about creating new timers. Okay, let me pull this group up. So the StreamYard group is if you just go look StreamYard community in Facebook, you'll find it. And all you have to do, share my screen again, is you'll see pinned like featured posts. Just scroll over. Oh, actually it's right here. So I think, yeah. So it's literally like the first pinned post, and all you have to go to this folder, but then bookmark the folder, because they're going to keep adding more graphics. So if we go to that folder it's going to open up Google Drive. And if you these are December, but if you back up a folder right here, you're going to see background files, countdown timers, December assets, November assets, October assets, and overlays. If you go to countdown timers, for example, there are these actual video files, but then I think when we go to, where were those other timers? I don't remember where the other timers were. I'm gonna have to look those up. overlays is where the confetti can be found. So this was one of the first ones they were kind of playing around with. But you can notice here, confetti burst, confetti USA, confetti burst single. So just check these out and you'll be able to download those and upload them into your your overlay section of your StreamYard account. Now, if you go to the December, you'll notice the GIFs. Go here. And here are where like the puddles one, there's Christmas lights. There's some other ones as well, a menorah. There's presents. There's all kinds. There's snow. Oh, I haven't tried the snow one. I think I have it on my computer. I just haven't uploaded it. So what I would suggest you do is go here to Assets for Community and bookmark this because they're going to continue to add items. So do that. And there's a little instruction guide right here for you on how to use it. So that is from StreamYard. These graphics will work pretty much anywhere. They'll even work in OBS if you want to do that. And so, definitely check that out. Super, super awesome, super fun. I don't know how long, I don't know how many consecutive months that they're going to keep, providing these graphics. So grab them, do what you want, and have some fun, right? Like for sure, make that happen. Okay, so real quick, Anna says, does that work with the free version of Wave Video? I'm totally on the free version of Wave Video. So yes, what I showed you guys on how to create those GIF files, 100% do it on the free account. You don't have to pay. So super cool. Okay, very good. Does Wave Video replace anything in your workflow? Yes. So the only thing, honestly, right now that it's kind of like intriguing to me is that I really am the whole like transparent background. Like I can make GIFs and make those transparent backgrounds. So, many of you may remember that I figured out how to make the transparent GIFs of myself, but I had to use like 3 different applications to make it happen. I had to record myself. I had to use Unscreen to remove the background from my video so that it was just me doing that. Then I had to basically open up Canva, put that graphic that Unscreen gave me into Canva, shrink it down, move it down into the corner because I wanted it down here. And then I had to go back to Unscreen and remove the background again because Canva doesn't let you export a transparent GIF file. That is not a function or a feature of Canva just yet. I have asked for it so many times. The only other application that I found and discovered that makes this fairly easy, because you can do this in an Adobe program, I'm not interested in doing that, is Kapwing. But Kapwing has a bug that I reported, in March, I think. Actually, I think it was before March. And I've reported the bug so that I'm like, hey, the file looks great. Everything wants to work. It even shows that it's transparent. But when you export it, it turns the background black. And they were like, oh, yeah, we're aware of the issue. And then she even emailed me again later. She's like, we're putting it in our next bug attack. Like our devs are doing a big bug thing. It still didn't work. It still doesn't work. Like it's a bug. It's never been fixed. So whatever. So Wave Video for me, James, to answer your question, now, like literally today, Crystal was like, I need you to make me a fire transparent, an overlay. Boom. I went in there and I did it. That's really the only thing it's currently replacing for me. It does have some interesting templates in it, but I honestly find the application, it's a video editing application. So it's got a lot of features in there. So any of you video editors or people that have used video software, you may actually think it's pretty awesome. You may actually be like, this is fantastic. For me, it's kind of hard for me to kind of get used to the interface. So I haven't really spent a lot of time in the application. So as of right now, it's really only replacing that aspect of things. CK says you can make transparent GIFs in PowerPoint and whatever it is equivalent for Mac. It would be Keynote in Mac. I really thought I tried this and I didn't think I could get it to work. I'll have to give that a try. I did try this one time, so I'll have to give that a try. Because I don't know. I think it has to do with the animated ones, but I'm not sure. I'll check it out, CK, for sure, because PowerPoint's super easy to use. Super easy to use. Okay. Okay, let me get to the questions now. We're ready. Let's I want to go to my pinned comments because I want to make sure I answer your questions. So Anna had a question. What is the easiest way to add music to the stream through StreamYard? Well, Anna, as of right now that's a very important key phrase. Okay, I can't say anything else. As of right now, you have to use either an audio mixer, like an audio interface that is a piece of hardware, like a Rodecaster, or you have to use software. I personally use the Wavelink software, which comes with the Wavelink or the Elgato Wave 1, the Elgato Wave 3, or the Elgato Wave XLR interface. And so what that software does is it basically is a virtual audio mixer. And so I can go create sources. So my browser, I can control the browser audio. And I was playing Epidemic Sound, which is a subscription-based music service. I was playing Epidemic Sound in the browser, and well, I thought I was pushing it into the stream. I guess the easiest way is use your microphone and play a bunch of music in your speakers and just make sure you don't hum and sing while you're sitting there streaming to everybody, like I was today. The better way to do it is to use the actual application. And so in StreamYard, when you select your audio, you actually would select that interface. And so for me, it's called Wavelink Stream. And when I select Wavelink Stream, anything that's happening in that software is what's pushing out into your ears, including I can have my mic on, I can have my mic off, I can have browser music, I can have sound effects and other things too. So that's how I do it. There are other applications. There's one called Voice Meter for PCs, and then there's one called Loopback for Macs that essentially will do something very similar. If you go to the StreamYard YouTube channel, they have some videos on that stuff. So that's like I said, the easiest way would be to play music in your speakers and let your microphone just pick it up. The only other way I'll say that's actually pretty easy is if you are playing music from a browser like Epidemic Sound, then you can actually share your screen. And when you share your screen, you're going to go to share screen and you're going to share system audio. Or if you are going to do a Chrome tab, you can do share tab audio. Now, I will tell you, I've done this both ways. When you share your screen and you share system audio, I find the sound to be better. But when I am sharing a Chrome tab and I play the audio through the tab, then I don't really like it as much. So let me show you what I'm talking about really quick, because everyone's always like, what do you mean click checkbox that? Let me take a quick screenshot of what I'm talking about, and then I'll put it up on screen for you. So when you go to share screen, like so, this picture right here, the screenshot that I just took, down, that's the, right here, that little checkbox. If you, oh, hey, hi. I didn't realize I was going to do that. You can actually, right here, that right there, that is, I'm not good at drawing circles with my mouse, apparently. That's actually going to be another way you can do it. That I always actually forget about this. This is how I used to do it before I got the Wavelink app. If you do that and you play Epidemic Sound, what you're going to want to do next is you're going to want to make sure you're on solo mode right here. And if you're on solo mode, as long as your screen is added to the stream, go to solo mode. Then you will have your screen not displayed, but the audio from your system is going to come through. And so that's how you would actually do it. So you have your screen shared, but you go to solo mode, and that's actually the easiest way to do it, to be honest with you. So that's what I would recommend. But that's a great question. I actually forgot about that whole, I seriously forgot all about the whole, share your screen and just play audio that way, right? So, I'm looking. Oh, okay. Okay, so you guys are talking about the PowerPoint thing. You just need to change the export setting to alpha 4444. Sounds like a commercial. For the transparency to work. Okay, I'm gonna have to play around with that. I'll check it out. Anna, good. Try that out. Let me know if it worked. I should probably make a tutorial video for this. I'm gonna write that down. Because honestly, I forgot all about that. That's how I first started streaming music. Share music through share screen. That video is coming. I gotta make a lot of videos. I got a lot of videos to make. Okay, let me keep going here. So next up, I'm gonna answer Monique's question, if she's even still here. Poor Monique has never seen my streams before and came in here hanging out with us and trying to get a question answered. Monique was wanting to know about upgrading her webcam. So she actually posted a question in Crystal Profits group, which is an awesome community for podcasters. And she wanted to know about cameras. So basically you have a few options for cameras when you want to use StreamYard or Zoom or anything. One, you can actually use your phone if you want to. It's a pretty good camera. It's pretty good quality, but you have to use an application to have your computer and your phone interface together. And so the one that's really popular is Reincubate Camo. And then another one is, I can never say it, Iriun, Iriun. And both of those, there's also Elgato has one, Epoch Cam, that's also really, really good. But these will basically put your phone in, you plug it into your computer, you open that app on your phone, you open the app on your computer, and next thing you know, when you go to StreamYard and you select webcam, Reincubate Camo, for example, is going to be one of your options. And if you select it, all of a sudden your camera on your phone now becomes your webcam. So that's one way. The built-in webcam, of course, in your monitor, if you have one in there, is also another option. Those are almost always crappy quality, but she's using right now a Logitech C270. That's one I've not heard of. Logitech C270. Huh. Let's take a look at this thing. Okay. It's an HD cam. I think this is, yeah, this is definitely a lower frames per second. So it's actually not Here's what's crazy. It says HD, but just so you guys know, YouTube now does not consider 720 HD anymore. So it used to be that 720 was HD and 1080 was super HD. But now pretty much everyone's just saying 720 is not even considered high definition anymore. So that is definitely one of those more inexpensive webcams that'll do great. It's totally fine for meetings and stuff. But you're right. You're probably not going to get that quality that you're looking for. So the option you have is there's a couple things you can try. First, you can buy a new webcam that's going to be higher quality. You want to go with one that is going to offer you 1080p at 60 frames per second if possible. And so they are different. So the Logitech StreamCam, is that right? Logitech StreamCam, and then Elgato's Facecam, I think is what that one's called, are both actually going to give you that. And they are great cameras. In fact, James Hicks here, I know, has the Logitech Facecam and he really likes it. So he's definitely pretty happy about that. So that is going to be a recommended. I've seen those cameras in action. Another good friend of mine has the Logitech one, the StreamCam. I've seen both of those. I'm like, oh, those look great. Those are great webcams. I would not recommend anyone buy the Logitech C920, the Logitech C922. Those cameras are old. They are just old. So you might as well buy something that's come out on the market that's newer for just maybe a little bit more money. Now, your next option is to either upgrade even further to a DSLR camera. That's what I'm using. I'm using the Sony a6100 plugged into the capture card. I'm also using a really nice camera lens that is not part of the camera originally. It's a Sigma lens, 16 millimeter, 1.4. F-stop is the lowest. My camera, by the way, is crooked. I just now noticed that. I can see it from this, from the accident with the the desk on Friday. But that is not cheap. So you're going to be literally over $1,000 with that setup because you do have to have other items to go with it. There are other accessories you're going to need. I mean, honestly, I think it's about $1,200 for this, what y'all looking at. So if you're making other videos, if you're going to be using the camera for a lot of things, it might be worth the investment to you. But most people are going to say, holy crap, that's so expensive. I don't want to spend that much money on my camera. Then you have another option. The other thing I'm going to tell you is while I say that's the Sony a6100, you can go with the Sony ZV-E10. Don't get the Sony ZV-1. Sorry, Crystal. Don't get that one. Get the Sony ZV-E10 because that camera, if you plug it into your computer, it's going to look very close to this. I'm also using another one of those Sigma lenses on this camera. So it's not quite going to give you the blurred background that you see here, but we're going to talk about that in a second too. But it is going to be a great camera, awesome camera. It's great for vlogging. It's amazing. It's about $700 brand new. And I think last time I checked. So, I mean, get it with the kit if that's with the kit lens. It's a great camera, and you don't have to buy any of those accessories that are going to increase the price because the USB cable that it comes with, you can plug it into your computer, which is going to power your camera and also have it recognized as a webcam. I like this because you can buy the camera like that today and then you can upgrade later. So that's one of the things. If you want to use the other cameras I mentioned, you're going to have to actually make more investments out of the gate. This is what's so great about the Sony ZV-E10 is you can get started with it. And then, like I said, upgrade your lens later or upgrade to a capture card. So you're going to get a higher resolution. And you would also at that time need to also invest in a dummy battery. Mine is still in the box because I haven't needed to open it yet. But the dummy battery, I always like the Go 9 brand. But the dummy battery is going to put power to the camera. So you'll need a dummy battery, you'll need a capture card, and you'll need a cable, a micro HDMI to HDMI. There you go. So that's how that works. Oh yeah, she is here. Okay, good. So it kind of just depends on one, the look you want, and two, most importantly, what's your budget. So if you have a budget, start saving now, right? Here's the other thing I'm going to say. I really need to hook up another camera, but I'm probably not going to have the chance to do that. CK says the ZV-E10 is currently not in production due to chip shortages. So if you find one, better get it. Holy crap. I'm pretty excited. When I got that, then yeah. So SmackDown, Doug says, but it only streams in 720 when plugged in USB. Is it even 720? I don't know if it's even 720. I was thinking it was one step lower. Yes, it is going to have a lower resolution. As you all saw, this is a different resolution. It kind of looks like a super high-end webcam. But honestly, for a lot of people, this is going to be great. And your audience probably isn't going to notice a huge difference. So I do think it's a great place to start and then, again, upgrade as you go. So I can't believe that I didn't know that the Sony ZV-E10 was out of production. I am so glad I got mine when I did then. And I know Doug just got his too. So yeah, if you can find one, go for it. If not, I will say this. You have another option, and that would be to buy a Sony a6100 used. You can get them for last time I looked, I saw them for like $450, $500. So great camera, absolutely amazing. You're going to need those accessories, but some of these cameras that aren't being produced right now because of the chip shortage, also don't be afraid to buy a used camera. It's not always what you run some risks with that, but honestly, buy it somewhere that is a certified dealer of used equipment, like a camera store. And now if you do have problems, you can absolutely take it back, right? If you buy it off somebody on Facebook Marketplace, you're not going to have that same option. So look into that for sure. Okay, next question. I didn't know that about the ZV-E10. That's so crazy. Monique, I hope that was helpful. If you have a follow-up question, let me know. Oh, sorry, I almost forgot about what I was going to show you. The other thing is that StreamYard now supports virtual backgrounds. And one of those backgrounds is a blurred background. Now, my background is already blurred. Let's just see if it makes a difference. Watch. Come on. Come on. There. I wish it was a faster. It's even blurrier than it was, right? So I now have the blurred background on. So yeah, it is actually blurrier. If any of you that are streaming right now with a webcam, you should go try this feature and check it out. Go see if it makes a difference with the quality of your stream. This is actually a common thing that's been asked for a long time. And they finally released the virtual backgrounds. Now, one thing is a virtual background, when it's on, sometimes it can just be a little heavier on your system, right? Just a little bit heavier. It's using artificial intelligence. It's your computer, your browser is having to work a little bit harder. But there's also these other virtual backgrounds that they have as well. As you can see, not perfect. A green screen is going to be best with this option with these, but the blurred background, I think, is actually pretty nice. So if you're using just a basic webcam, go in and try this out. All you have to do is you go to your settings, and in your menu, you're going to see virtual background, and you just select blur, and you can see how it looks. Let's turn it off now. There we go. So yeah, again, my background's actually already blurred, so you're not going to notice a big difference. But if we were, let's see, no, because it's, I don't know if it's going to work with this angle. Let's just try it real fast. Virtual background, blur. Probably going to blur me because I'm not yeah. There. Okay, so y'all see that. It's using artificial intelligence to blur the background. So it's kind of trying to find me, but that's because of the camera angle I'm using right now. Let's do this. Let's just do that. So that's what that looks like. The blurred background it's actually pretty effective. This is not bad. So if you are using just a basic webcam, you may not need to upgrade at all. Maybe you're going to go use that blurred background and you'll be like, oh, it made such an awesome difference. I love it now. So give that a shot as well. Certainly something that you might want to try and check that out. Okay. Super fun stuff. Oh, Best Buy has the ZVE10 in stock right now. Go get you some. I actually love using Best Buy because you get points. If you're a Best Buy Rewards member, those points really come back and serve you. So like buy something like the camera there, you get those points, then you'll get like, I don't know, $50 or something. And then you can go back and use that $50 to buy, to contribute towards something else. So that's one of the things I love about Best Buy. Plus it's literally like a half a mile, like maybe 3/4 of a mile from where I live. I think it's probably actually a half a mile. It's so close. So there you go. Get it while it's hot. Yeah, seriously. Certainly something to consider. I think I saw something Crystal said, my B-Day is next week and you reminded me to ask for a Stream Deck. Oh, yeah. Get yourself a Stream Deck. I think Crystal had a question about Stream Deck. Okay, so I'm going back up. This is I love the starred comments because I can star the comments and then go to my starred queue. I don't have to go search for the original question. So Crystal asked this question like almost 30, like she asked this question like 30 minutes ago. Are you going to get some desk mounts for your cameras? Yes. So that is a great question. So let me pull up what she is talking about. Whoops, I didn't. Yep, I'm going to close that. Let's take a look at these. And don't let me, you guys, I totally, don't let me forget to get my, those GIF files into a Google Drive folder for y'all. Okay. Let's see. You know what you need to do? You know what we need to do? I'm going to do this. The GIF files I showed earlier, here's what I'm going to do because I'm going to forget. And it's going to be distracting. These GIF files, the fire and the Taco Tuesday. I may even go ahead and make a few more. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make some more for you guys and then go make sure you've joined my Facebook group. So DIY Marketing with Melanie, that's what you want to search for. I will actually share the Google Drive folder in the Facebook group. I really don't love the idea of sharing something like that just totally in the public. So if you don't mind, if you're not already part of my group, go to Facebook, join my Facebook group, DIY Marketing with Melanie, answer those quick questions. I'll get you in there. And then I will make a post later today and I will put that folder link out there. I am going to make it an expiring folder link because I don't love the idea of links just hanging out there for whatever reason. So do that. So go do that. Join the Facebook group and I'll make sure I do those later today. Okay. Are you going to get, okay. So let me show you what she's talking about because this is what I have been looking at. There are different, oh my gosh, that whole, like you clear your cache and then it loses all your shortcuts. Okay. Desk mount for camera. So I am actually on Amazon. So what we're looking at here, see how there's this clamp? I'm actually going to make this bigger so you guys can see these images better. Look how she's got her, like it's mounted here, but then there's also an arm that goes out to the side. So if you notice, there's all kinds of different types of desk mounts. James Hicks, if you're still here, what desk mount do you use? What is the version that you use? So they come with all these little extensions so that you can actually make it do different things. So really, you're going to want to get a desk mount that will allow you to kind of create these different angles, because that if we go back to my Brio here, that's where I have my camera. It is mounted here. This lens, the Sigma lens, does not have a zoom lens on it. There's no zoom on it. And so the only way for me to zoom is what's called a digital zoom, which means I'm over, if I'm using OBS, which I am to control my camera, then you can zoom in on OBS. But when you zoom in, a digital zoom means you reduce the resolution. It's like cropping in. That's all it's doing. So because this camera doesn't have a zoom, I have to have it here. So that camera, if it were mounted to my desk, it would be too far. It would actually be further back because the end of the desk is back there. So I am going to need one that's adjustable so that I can actually, move it around and have those options. So something like this, There are some, this one like right here, they slide, they do it. There you go. There's a nice cute little video for you. That looks semi-stable. That's interesting. So then you can have multiple things. You can have a microphone mounted. You can have, a lot of people use these dual mounts for other things. The other one is the Elgato Master Mount. And this is probably the one that I'm going to end up getting just because I trust Elgato's products. And so what the Elgato Master Mount is it's got, this one's actually going to telescope, it looks like, but then it does have a pivot. And I think you can rearrange the pivots. So yeah, so you can have things moving around, doing different things. There you go. So if you look at those images there where it's flexing out, so you're going to need the flex arm. So you have to make sure you get the right parts to be able to use it in the way that you want. So you know, that's what I'm looking at. So that's what she was asking about. And so that's what I'm looking at when it comes to those mounts. I'm looking. Okay. Floor mount. So Cynthia says, I have to use a floor mount. My husband's built my desk, and bless his heart, I love it, but it's wobbly. Oh yeah. That's another thing, is that if you are going to mount to your desk, you do want your desk to be nice and stable, because so sometimes desks do jiggle. And if your desk jiggles and you're touching it or using your desk, your camera's going to jiggle as well. My desk is really sturdy. I'm pretty impressed with it. I use the autonomous standing desk, the DIY one. So I had an IKEA desktop already, and I simply just bought the autonomous one and put it on there. So super, super simple. Okay. I love, CK says, I love my Best Buy points. Plus, if you spend way too much money with them, like me, you get super platinum status and get special offers and deals too. You and me both, sister. I literally walk in and they know my first name. So it's pretty funny. They also know that I usually walk in and I already know what I want. So they love me. So they don't have to work to make the sale, which is kind of funny. Okay, so next question. I see I got two from Cynthia, and then Twinning at Life. I have your question as well in my queue. So Cynthia said, is StreamYard coming out soon with the ability to see our background when we are alone on stream? Yes. So that layout option is coming. Essentially what it's going to be is so when you have your background, the only way to see your background is when you have a guest on screen or when you're sharing your screen. So when I say background, you notice the frame around all that purple stuff. So I'll change it to just bring attention to it. Now it's black. Now it's this. Now it's cityscape. And now we go back to that one, right? I like the cityscape. Sometimes I like using that one. So that background is really only visible when you either are sharing your screen, either this layout or this layout, of course. The picture-in-picture is going to fill your screen. Oh, wait. No, that's not it. Cinema layout. Yeah, okay. Sorry. I saw something, and actually, it's funny the way they've done it. It actually looks like the version she's asking about. What they're going to be doing is they are going to be adding a layout option that will basically take your webcam and crop you in a little bit. Not crop you in, but like make the window a little bit smaller, and you will essentially see a frame around you in solo mode that will display that frame of the background. So it's only going to be a really small little outer edge where your background will come through. So that is coming. In fact, it's going to be like released pretty soon. So I'm actually kind of surprised it hasn't already been released, to be totally honest with you. Peter's here. Pete, hi. We haven't seen Pete in so long. It's good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. It's like 4 a.m. his time in Aussie land. So, okay. Yeah. Cityscape is nice. Thanks. So that is coming. Again, so kind of surprised it's like literally, I think it's coming like any day. So I know they've already announced that it's coming. So usually when they do that, it's coming like right after. Oh, and we already talked about this one. I guess the StreamYard Facebook group. I forgot to unpin that one. All right. Twinning at Life has a question. Have any advice about making a second monitor using a laptop if you are starting out? Okay. So what she's talking about is she wants that second monitor. But she doesn't want to spend the money on a second monitor just yet, but she has a laptop. So two things. You can, if you have an extra TV lying around, you could also use the TV. To hook up a laptop to your, as a second monitor, I believe you have to make sure, let's just Google this. We're going to Google this because honestly, I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. Is it a Mac or PC? Because if it's a Mac, then I think it's pretty easy. There's like a dongle you can buy that will actually let your laptop work. How do I use my laptop as a monitor? From HP, right there. I believe there's probably a cable and a setting. 2 free ways to use a laptop as a monitor. Okay, Twinning It Life, I wish I had the answer for you, but I actually, if you Google it, there are like 3 videos right away that are going to teach you how to do it. So I would definitely check that out for sure. Cinema Layout has been teasing me for weeks, just sitting there looking at me. So it's funny because, Cinema Layout. I thought it was called Cinema Layout too, but it's not. So it's actually Cinema Layout. If you hover over the layouts in StreamYard, now that they added the hotkeys, it actually tells you what they're called. And I will tell you, some of them, one of them is called News Layout, Spotlight Layout, Group Layout, Cropped Layout, and then Solo Layout. So I'm not sure exactly when that one is coming, but we'll see, right? Okay, so, but I can't remember what they're calling it. I forget what they're going to call that, where it's going to have us in with the frame around us. Now, I don't know what they'll require, but to have custom backgrounds, you do have to be on the basic plan or the pro plan. So, definitely make sure that you're on that for sure. Hello, Robin's Egg Blue Creations. Not Robin's Blue Egg Creations. I always get that mixed up. She's probably like, oh my God, get over it. Stop. But Billy's got a question. Billy says, are you doing a Christmas party stream again this year? That was fun. I did do a stream party last year. I actually am thinking, so here's what I'm actually thinking about doing. What I did was in our Facebook group, I did like we did a Zoom party. I got on Zoom and we just had a little, like, everybody get to know each other. And it was actually pretty fun. I'll think about that, Billy. It's not on my schedule, but it's certainly something I'll entertain and consider. Something I am trying to pull together is kind of like a little streamer party where I just want to bring on some of my peers and some of my previous special guests that I've had, even some new guests, and have them come on and let's talk about our plans for 2022 and what their predictions are and what they think is coming, and really just offer you some additional insights. I really kind of want to do that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's called Cinema Layout. I'm looking at it now. So when I click Cinema Layout, it just goes full screen to my shared screen. So I don't know what's going on there. Maybe they're changing the cinnamon. It sounds like cinnamon layout. I cannot stop thinking about cinnamon rolls. Well, Crystal, I don't know about you. Do you have I have a Christmas tradition. I always make Addison cinnamon rolls for Christmas morning. So when I literally just bought cinnamon rolls the other day because last year, this lady waited too late to the last minute and everybody else makes cinnamon rolls too. So there were no cinnamon rolls on Christmas morning last year, which sucks. That was not fun. Okay, here we go. CK in the house. CK is so good at this stuff. She says, yes, just need to make sure you know your laptop connection for a second monitor. Pretty simple. Just plug it in and you should be set. Newer PCs should have recognized monitor. So what she's basically saying is all you should have to do is hook, but you have to have the right connection from your PC. So there's 2 ways that this typically is done. Sometimes some monitors will have like a HDMI in and an HDMI out. And if it has an HDMI out, no, I'm so sorry. I said that wrong. I'm thinking of the all-in-ones. If you have an all-in-one computer, which is where your monitor is your computer as well, it's going to have an HDMI out. And if you take that HDMI out and go into the laptop, then what she's saying is it will recognize it. If you have a PC tower, then you may need to get 2 connections because you're probably already using the HDMI out into your monitor. And if it doesn't have a second one, then you're going to is it DVI? I think it's DVI. God, you guys are testing me today. DVI. Yeah, it's DVI. You would need a DVI cable or an adapter, which is what I use actually, DVI and then go into your laptop. So it's all a matter of making sure you have the proper cables, but CK says it should work if you just hook it up. So that's pretty cool. I thought maybe it was going to require something fancy like an app or something. So there you go. Yes, DVI. So yeah, so it's really, you're going to have to know what your options are as far as your ports. So again, you're probably already using one of your ports going into your current monitor, and then you need to know, do you have a second port? And if you do, it's probably DVI. And so use that DVI cable into your into your laptop. And of course, just make sure that your laptop is going to have a input, a monitor input, which is going to probably be just an HDMI. So if you have an HDMI, you should be in good shape because it goes both ways. Right? Yeah. So there you go. Okay. Crystal says, I have a tray of cinnamon rolls sitting on my counter. I was looking for an excuse to eat one right now. Well, there you go. Now you can go eat your cinnamon rolls, right? So funny. Okay. Do you guys have any more questions? Any more questions? Did I talk about, I told you, I showed you my GIFs. I'm going to go take those GIFs and I am going to put those GIFs and maybe make a couple more. I'm going to put those into the Facebook group. Somebody bought me a coffee and it didn't pop up. Hold on. Somebody bought me a coffee, I think. So I used to have the Buy Me a Coffee alert set up in my OBS. Oh, log in. I swear I saw a notification. Log in. I want to know who was the generous, amazing person that bought me a coffee. Whoops. I am literally going to, so again, if you're not part of the Facebook group, go to, I had the overlay, where'd it go? There, Facebook group, DIY Marketing with Melanie. Join the group. It's an awesome community. We have a ton of fun. And hold on, I thought I saw a notification. Did I get Mariano? Thank you so much, you sweet person. I super duper appreciate you. Thank you for the tacos, as I call them. So go to the Facebook group. I'm going to make these GIFs. I'm going to put them into a Google Drive folder. I will share it with everybody. You can download those GIFs, and then I will basically be taking that folder down probably after a week. So if you want those, I'll make a few more. We got Fire and we got Taco Tuesday. I may change that one up a little bit. I'll make some more for you guys, and then you can have them for free. Totally happy to provide those to you guys. Super easy. If you are just not tuning in and you want to see how I made those, I did a really short, not really a full demo, but I showed you the application that I used to make them, and it was a lot of fun. So there you go. Okay, everybody, I am going to go ahead and sign off for this one for today. I'm going to go trim out that countdown timer that I was humming to, and you all could hear me, because that's actually also where I'm doing that. That's actually also where I am legit, like, I'm trimming my countdown timers, because that's what you're supposed to do. It's weird and hard for me to do, but you're supposed to do that. Pete says, you need to place all those links in the block of info. I should, shouldn't I? Like the Buy Me a Coffee and all the other stuff. I should totally do that. Okay, and the Facebook group. I will. Pete, I will. I got to get smarter about my descriptions for sure. All right, everybody. I will talk to you guys next time. If you have anything else that you need from me, post it in the Facebook group. I love helping you all out, but also it's full of amazing, helpful people in the community. Super, super helpful people in there all the time, like CK, James, Crystal, among others. Doug's in there showing us his new setup. He's been upgrading all of his stuff, and it's been a lot of fun to watch his progress with that. So definitely go join the group and hang out with us, but also be supportive and help each other out. Cheer each other on to whatever your goals are going to be. I've got a lot of fun things coming up. So I love you guys, and I appreciate you. We'll see you next time.